Hey everybody, Michael Campbell here, family pastor at Grace Church. Just wanted to go over this Sunday's lesson, how it applies to our children, how it applies to us, and how we can lead proactively and intentionally for our children. So this Sunday they're going over Jeroboam and how he disobeyed God in 1 Kings chapter 12 to 13. Now, we all know this. The entire Bible is true. It is without error. It's authoritative and very clear. However, there are times, perhaps when we're trying to discern what we should do about a job or opportunity or other circumstances, when there's seemingly more than one good option, we always ask that question, what does God want from me? What does God want us to do? And so the Bible actually contains some very clear directives about what we should do and what we shouldn't do. And it's abundantly clear that we are to honor our father and mother and that we should avoid immorality, stuff like that. But what happens when we go against God's directions? And so in 1 Kings chapter 13, we see a prophet from Judah who had clear direction from God about what to do and what not to do. But King Jeroboam, he didn't fully adhere to that instruction. And unfortunately, the results were devastating for them. And so the prophet expressed that he was commanded by the Lord they must not eat food or drink water or go back to where they had came. And on 2 occasions, he explained that admonition to those inviting him to do otherwise. But in a moment of temptation, he dismissed that instruction at the deceptive advice of an older prophet. And so the prophet from Judah returned to where he came from. He ate and drank water with them, and ultimately disregarding the clear instruction of the Lord. And the prophet's disobedience led to death by a lion. Now, the intent of this encounter is not to scare us into obedience, but to remind us of the seriousness of sin. And so the consequence of sin and the grace of God under which we live in is in Christ. And so often we spend hours deliberating things that God has not made crystal clear to us, while simultaneously disregarding those things that he has made known to us through his word. And so it may serve us well as followers of Jesus to give ourselves fully to those things that God has made clear. And when we become more aware of what God commands of us as we grow in faithfulness to those things, it's likely that our discernment will grow as well in the process. And so we ought to live our lives graciously obedient people who seek to know and obey God's ways with God's help. And so that's what we're going through this weekend. Check out the rest of the thread for some discussion questions, memory verse, and other points of conversation that you can have with the children. But till next week, God bless and take care.